GM fam. Couple minutes late, but very glad to have you all with us. It's a joyous Friday here. I don't know if you all are with me, so drop some yays in the comments if you're here. I'm seeing a couple notifications from Eden Clappick. Got the notification this time, buddy. Nice, nice. And Anonymous, who I believe is a registered financial advisor, is offering some financial advice, which is to short curve and long ape. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't know if that's a good advice or not. So, Anonymous, I hope, can present your credentials and explain if that's good advice or bad advice. So, GM to CryptoVerm, mode Zoidberg. Why not Zoidberg? Today, us and all the rest of the internet are talking about CrvUSD, which it's pretty funny because several months ago we knew that CrvUSD was coming, but then the internet yesterday exploded when Numich Will gave an interview and revealed that CrvUSD is coming. Apparently some people didn't know that, but whatever the cause, yesterday there was a ton of interest in CrvUSD. Curve token prices were kind of popping, as were various flywheel assets. It was a very fun time. What I thought was really interesting is that the media was reporting the alpha from Numich Will's interview, which was that the Curve stablecoin is going to be over-collateralized. As he says, it's better to be an over-collateralized design because it's the most reliable one. So that got a fair amount of pickup, like some news outlets picked up that this was some alpha. What's interesting is that they said that this was the only bit of alpha, really. They're saying that this is the only content that provided. But the full interview dropped this morning, and that was just one of the bits of alpha. He said, it's better to tell all the details. I would say. So I don't know if this qualifies as alpha or not. It's alpha of a degree, and it's going to apply to liquidations. Ooh, is my voice gone? Just a second. Friends, can you hear me? Friends, hello, hello. How about now? How about now? I promise this was not like a way to try and... Hello, hello. How about now? Can you hear me? Cutting in and out, it would seem. I promise this was not my crazy way of keeping you from hearing the alpha. Gone, yes, yes. I think Bogdanov is here. Alright, that's nice. Keeps cutting out. It's going on and off again. It looks to me like it might be back. So just bit of a, I won't call this an alpha leak, but there was in fact a water leak here just minutes before I was supposed to go live, and I think it might be causing some electricity to short. My lighting has also gone out. Echo. Well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the mic and try and hook up the laptop audio. Alright, this should be going just through the laptop. The audio quality might not be as good, but I'm hearing that I'm back, although maybe echo. CryptoVerm says I'm back. Alright. It seems like I'm Gucci. So again, I was promised that I was not trying to keep you from the alpha here. So the first thing we know is that the stablecoin is going to be over collateralized. The second is that based on what we know about how automated market making works, we tried to rethink how liquidations can work, doing it in some way which no one thought about, I would say. This is Mitch Will's words, not mine. So this is the second bit of alpha. I don't know whether it qualifies as alpha or not. Just tells us that he's trying to rethink how liquidations can work and that there's going to be some sort of automated market making mechanism connected with it. Looks, did that alpha come through to you all, if it qualifies as alpha? So I read sort of three kind of points. One is it's close to being ready. Second, the over-collateralized nature. And third, the automated market making and how that works, being a key component. Well, whatever news was leaked yesterday, it was lighting up the internet, let's just say. And I think, to be honest, like every single new Mitch Will video that gets posted has like the highest content of like high caliber, like big brain material to the like smallest number of views. Like he's here dropping incredible alpha, and I look at the view count on YouTube and it's like 100 views. And I'm like, that's only like 100 people who are going to make it. Like this is this is like one of the biggest geniuses of our time. So every time new Mitch Will is talking, you got to pay attention. So it did spark a ton of resurgence of kind of speculation on what the CrvUSD token might look like. I posted up a fun thread asking you all, like, only give us wrong answers about how the CrvUSD stablecoin would work. And I got like 40 replies. It was really hilarious. I was cracking up all day. So thanks to any of you that were dropping some of that into the thread. Very funny stuff. Perhaps later I'll go through and read through some of the good ones. But there's also some like more serious commentary on what the CrvUSD coin might look like. And there was some thought that it would involve VECRV in some way, potentially as collateral. I know that anyone who's staked VECRV for a really long time is really hoping that they could do something with that VECRV. The bad news is that VECRV is permanent. I don't think that you can really do anything with VECRV if you look at the contract. So it's not likely to be kind of used as collateral, in my opinion, and the opinion of other commentators. But what people did say is that VECRV could receive like revenue from it. So if you staked VECRV, it could be a revenue source if CrvUSD generates some revenue. Some really good posts. Check out the one by Diligent Deer, who had a 17-part thread focused on all the different potentials for how it could be built out. And also check out from about 3 months back, we asked Fiddy and Crypto Condom, who are two very big brain commenters, on their thoughts on how a Curve stablecoin could be designed. There's also some interesting discussion about CVX-CRV as collateral, but the interesting thing about that is that if you have CVX-CRV as collateral and it has like massive liquidations event, that could have really negative pressure on the peg. So I'm not sure that that's necessarily a good idea or not. Another good thread also we linked by Solomon Crypto, Haim Solomon. Would be curious to hear your thoughts in the comments as to how you think CrvUSD might function. Or, you don't even need to think about it. Like, one of the beauties of this is there are big brain people like New Mitch Will that are going to build amazing products that can pump our bags. So you might just sit back and enjoy the show. Grab a Curve bag, grab a bag of popcorn, and watch and see what happens. It's really, really amazing timing because we also know that in August we're going to see the Curve emissions also reduced. So we have kind of a beneficent headwinds, let's say. Some questions in the comments I'm seeing already. VS asks, hello, are there any intern positions open in Curve Finance? It's possible there are. I would recommend going to the Curve Finance Discord or Telegram and asking the question there. I haven't necessarily seen Curve hire through listing positions very often. Sometimes they do, but that's usually for more technical roles. What I generally see is people just generally make themselves very useful to Curve, and get on the team that way. How do I think CrvUSD affects convex bribes? Very, very early, so it wouldn't be possible for me to speculate until I actually saw what the final design of the coin looked like in production. I will say that we've already seen some interesting downwind effects on convex, which is that when curve price pumps, convex price pumps, of course. When convex price pumps, we know that Wonderland last week announced that they would be selling off their stake of convex, and at the same time, everyone's favorite ex-CFO OxSifu opened up a massive short position on convex. And with the price of convex going up, it looked like he was getting wrecked. So what appears to be happening is that Wonderland is going to OTC their stash of convex directly to Sifu. Kind of funny how that works out. Mode, I think will be a mint against a whitelisted pool LP. Try crypto, Stith. Yeah, I could see that being a good design. There's all these LP tokens that, in a way, are gaining more utility than their underlying token. By this, I mean, like, if you have a USDC, it's kind of nice because the USDC gets you into a lot of things. If you own a 3-curve, it's almost better because you can unwrap it into USDC, DAI, or USDT rather cheaply. But you also have the capability of aping from the 3-curve into several different curve pools. So if you end up with these LP tokens having a ton more utility, like things you can do with it, then that's just going to increase demand for people to lock their stablecoins or other collateral as into curve LP pools. The more people that lock, the more people that need to boost that lock to get the max rewards, which means more flywheel pressure on convex, more people who need to lock curve for VECRV. Just a lot of kind of beneficial aspects to the flywheel. So great question. Some other interesting effects I noticed is that, and this is just going to be what it is, but remember this next time prices nuke, because prices will nuke, and I'm always rooting for prices to nuke, unlike everyone else, because I like cheap crypto tokens, because I'm never selling, I'm only buying. But when prices nuked, notice that all of a sudden, out of the woodwork, all these extremely random curve haters emerged, some we'd never really seen before, and they're like trying to throw all this like death spiral stuff. They're real quiet now, they're not talking much about death spiral. But sort of the opposite thing happens, which is when prices pump, all of a sudden you get all this bandwagon effect of all these people suddenly liking curve. So we saw a lot of them yesterday just popping in out of the woodwork saying that they think curve's pretty cool. There's some value to that. I'm not talking, of course, about the long-time curve maximalists and the kind of people who stuck with the bear market, but it kind of goes back and forth. See. Looks like the questions are rather quiet. Perhaps you're distracted because today I'm keeping it a bit more casual. It's a casual Friday here at the office, so I don't have to wear the suit and tie. Able to get away with just a suit coat today. Maybe you're just distracted by that gorgeous fractal background. Hey, big brain Fiddy himself. Gonna be interesting. Yeah, Fiddy, I don't know if you caught it, but we were complimenting you earlier because a few months back, the first time that it was announced that CrvUSD is coming, you and Crypto Condom gave some pretty intelligent thoughts on where you think that the CrvUSD coin could go, and I think those comments have held up very well as we've gotten more and more alpha dropped. Tomer asks, would we see a convex stablecoin, Curve Convex USD? That's a pretty interesting question. I would not imagine that's in the pipeline, but with everything at Curve, everything at Convex, it's never final until it actually gets shipped and released. So my guess would be if Convex did decide to issue their own stablecoin, it would come a bit later. The other thing Convex might do is they might just wrap it. We saw that Curve got wrapped seamlessly into Convex Curve in a way that really benefited the flywheel and created this sort of maximalist effect. We might well see the exact same thing happen with a Convex stablecoin. where instead of creating their own, they just figured out a way to take whatever the tokenomics of CrvUSD ending up and figure out a way of wrapping it into some sort of convex flywheel. I wouldn't put anything past him. It wouldn't underestimate the fact that since Curve launched a very useful protocol, a number of other protocols have found it very useful to build off of it. So I could imagine that if, depending on what the tokenomics of a CrvUSD end up looking like, we might well see some crypto entrepreneurs out there building a number of other services atop this as the base layer. Zoidberg, any good auto compounders for convex curve? Excuse my Zoidberg impression, it's not very good. But are there any good auto compounders for convex curve? I would ask Fiddy that question, because the Llama Air Force that Fiddy is an integral part of has built out a few different compounding pools. One of which for convex curve. So generally speaking, whenever I get curve, my first choice is to wrap it into convex curve and stake it into the Llama Air Force and let them auto compound it. There's also Concentrator. There's also StakeDAO has. They've been doing some interesting stuff with their StakeDAO curve. A number of other protocols are wrapping curve lately, and some of them may be building out some auto compounders as well. So, for example, I know Magic Curve has been whitelisted. I don't know what they're doing with their Magic Curve just yet. Fiddy points out USDC doesn't have yield, but wrapped version of USDC have yield. Yeah, it's one of the things I was mentioning earlier is that good stablecoin design can add extra optionality. So LP tokens are going to have additional optionality if they're able to be staked for CrvUSD. In the same way, 3Curve has extra optionality because you can unwrap it into USDC, DAI, or USDT, or you can ape into other pools with it. But also, a beauteous thing about putting your money as 3Curve is you earn interest on it. So when I was looking for places to avoid risk during the most recent bear market, 3Curve was incredibly cozy, because even though the yield wasn't necessarily substantial, if I'm earning, even a fraction of a percent on my 3Curve, that's better than nothing. And indeed, it's earned a fraction of a percent over its entire history, and it did pretty well during the bear market when everyone was panicking. Moments ago, I said OxSifu opened a short position. Do I know where? I would look at my Twitter account. I retweeted some comments. I believe it was Haim Solomon that was going through some of the details on that. Let me see if I can pick that up. But if this is on chain, hasn't been in fact disputed by OxSifu, although Sifu did take objection to some of the people saying that he directly controls Wonderland Treasury. Sifu indirectly controls Wonderland Treasury, not directly. So Sifu is capable of mesmerizing all these hostages that he's taken through the Wonderland. It's been described almost as Stockholm Syndrome, where these people have been kidnapped and they've fallen for the kidnapper. So Sifu has already been able to drain 25 million towards his Sifu Vision fund, and now he was able to convince them, apparently, to purchase the his short position. And it was actually Ouroboros Crypto that had that thread. So take a look at Ouroboros Crypto, a great follow in general. Sweet impermanent loss. Oh no, sweet, I'll check it out, says Zoidberg. Mode, thoughts on MIMPEG being gradually restored. Went from 70 million to 160 million in 3 weeks, thanks to Abracadabra's bribes. Yeah, there's a few different factors at play here with the MIM pool. Another very interesting play is that the AIF parameter had been sort of out of whack for the MIM pool. So it got readjusted lately, and that's sort of helped the MIM pool to restore peg. Generally speaking, I've had a small stake in the MIM pool for quite some time, and there's been some pools that I escaped because I was just way too worried about it. USDN I got out of during the most recent bear market because that was painful. That being said, like a number of bigger brains than me tell me that MIM's tokenomics are pretty secure, so I ended up staying in the MIM pool, and it's done pretty good for me. So I count myself as a fan of MIM so far. But we'll see. Not financial advice. Talk with your registered financial advisor, etc., etc. the borrows and the eventual repay. Yeah, Abracadabra also recently started bribing on Vodium. So I think the newest Vodium round is opening up pretty soon. I think I saw some bribes coming in. So we're going to have to see if that indeed continues. Let me load up the ever-helpful Llama Air Force and see what if there is any recent action. Yes, there's already been a couple of bribes coming in for the most recent round. The deadline for that's going to be 3 days from now, so it's going to be a fun weekend. This will be our first bribe round since we've seen a little bit of pump to the crypto prices, and it's already at 4 cents per VLCVX. This is pretty good because at the trough of the bear market, it was at 6 cents per VLCVX. So we haven't seen Frax make any action. This is just off of Convex. XDAI has won for the 3 curve gauge there, and TUSD have made some bribes. So could be a fun bribe round. Grab some popcorn. Okay, looks like it's a bit quiet. Any final questions before we bounce? Doesn't look like it. So wherever you are, enjoy the day. Keep the commentary active. Always interesting to see what you all have to say. Just always great stuff from these chats. Great to hear your thoughts. Great to hear your questions. Really informs my research, my understanding in the space. So everyone, take care.